At the time we were quite messy with some of our procedures, doing a lot of firefighting, and stress levels were quite high with the staff. First sort of thing we did was to look over the whole practice, and we did a sort, and obviously sorts to weed out items that we don't use all the time.
Sort what you have, get rid of what you don't need, and keep what you do. Sorting is a vital first step.
Significant change of the factory when we 5S the factory, and for the people that work here, I suppose, was just the amount of clutter that we'd taken out of the factory. Truckloads of redundant equipment that we hadn't used for 10 years, but we were keeping it just in case we needed to use it. So once we cleared all the clutter out, all of a sudden there was a lot of space around. And with that space we thought, well, we could fit some more production lines in here, or future production lines.
The concept of just-in-time for both inputs and outputs is a major part of the sort. Sealy used to carry a large inventory of mattresses, which has also included a big reduction in capital at Sealy.
Our initial process was to go through the factory from top to bottom, focusing on specific areas and looking exactly what was useful, what wasn't useful, and removing it to an area that, if we ever needed it in the future, we would have it. And that area took up probably half an acre at one stage. So.
Sort, paving the way for sustainable growth. Set everything in place so the work flows, both inputs and outputs.
Probably have about 200 items on our stock list at the moment, which I think is quite a lot of items. And initially we thought this is going to be very difficult to put things, find a place for things. So just one by one, slowly, we've found a place for everything.
Labels that tell you where everything is. Shadow boards that make sure all tools are in place and ready to be used.
One of the other benefits of 5S is making sure you've got the right tools in the right location of the machine. It's no good for an operator to be walking from one end of the machine to look for tools. You need to have them right there, and we've done a pretty good job with shadow boards and tools that are needed for the operators, so they're not wasting time.
Sealy saw the area needed for manufacturing mattresses reduced as they set the process in order, so one thing flowed to another. This means an order for a mattress can be met within 2 days, leading to savings in time and costs. Setting things in order has an immediate impact.
It's one of the things 5S does. It makes an immediate impact on the work areas that on the value creation work centres out on the shop floor. So the guys see an immediate impact.
Now sustainable growth is set. Shine. Keep it clean. Nothing out of place. After each shift, make it shine. Not only an initial clean, but ongoing.
As part of our third S, the Shine, obviously we did a spring clean as part of the initial sort and set in order, and then we went to Shine. Sustaining that, we have a daily checklist which the team members have to go down the checklist. Part of that checklist is cleaning.
Along the way we haven't actually reduced manpower, which I think is pretty critical. Invariably a lot of people think, if I change all this, they'll work it out and I'll lose a job.
Instead of being fearful of losing their jobs, they now own the 5S process. The employees are the ones who keep it shining, and as part of their shift, they come in on weekends to repaint paths and other markings, ensuring the shift is not over till the place shines. Cleaning up, another step to sustain.
Also, the element of standardising is, as I was saying, it creates stability, and it becomes one of the tools you can use for problem solving, which is how you're going to improve your business in the long run. Right? So it makes it very clear what the standard is, and then when things are actually deviating from that standard, which is really the basic definition of a problem.
Standardising sets up routines and processes to keep things flowing. Crane Copper standards means everything works to precision, and so productivity increases. This has been a major factor at SB Cosmetic Dentistry.
We've also worked through our procedures and standardised our procedures. This particular point here, We've got 2 minutes 45 seconds where we're waiting for some materials to set in the patient's mouth. So we looked at utilising that time to fill out the lab form, to download the shade photo and to do post-op instructions. So it's kind of like a value stream.
It's really important that all new employees that start here must be trained in 5S and some basic lean principles.
Sustaining 5S is one of the great challenges for any company.
We've rolled it out into every part of the business. However, not every business has sustained as well as others. I guess we've tried a whole range of approaches, from the cookie cutter approach that everyone had to sustain it in the same way, and I'd say in the last 12 months we've allowed teams or areas to sustain it in their own ways.
Input from the employees and the sharing of ideas is an essential element of Sustain in the 5S model.
It'd be impossible to keep the process going if we didn't have the regular small meetings where groups get together on a daily basis at the end of the production and just informally say, well, you know, what went right and what went wrong today. And the formal meetings are weekly with the management, where they put forward again in a formal way this time what has worked and what hasn't.
5S, one of the keys to sustainable growth.